More about me. This is my second icebreaker speech, as I mentioned. And I want to give you a little more of who I am as a person. I'm the type of individual who enjoys many things. I have a lot of different interests. But when thinking about this speech, 3 major interests came to mind. They were hiking, writing, and playing the wig. In this speech, I plan to discuss my joy of hiking, my joy of writing, and my joy of playing the wig. I do enjoy hiking. This is an activity that I think I've always enjoyed, but in recent days, I've rekindled this passion. When I was a kid, we had woods in our neighborhood. Not big woods, not a big forest, but big enough. And I was the explorer type. I used to love going through the woods, tromping through the streams, looking for tadpoles, getting into trouble sometimes. I'm an explorer. I love to be outdoors. I love the smell of the woods. I love the silence of the woods. Sometimes there isn't always silence. Sometimes you hear birds chirping. Ever since I've gotten back into hiking, I've realized how much I enjoy getting away from traffic, from the White Horse Pike at 5 o'clock in the evening. I love hiking. Sometimes you'll see waterfalls when you go hiking. That's if you go into the mountains, for instance, Northwest Jersey, and you'll see a trickling stream going down rocks into a pool. Nothing but peace. In addition to hiking, I love writing. This is another activity in which I feel like I learned, I really enjoyed later on in life. But it wasn't always the case. I liked writing when I was a kid. As a matter of fact, my 6th grade teacher, she had us keep a journal. I used to journal. And I realized then that I could produce clarity in my mind just by writing my thoughts down. It was fascinating. I didn't do it every time I needed to, but when I would write, my mind would become clear. I could organize information better. I could do a lot of things. Recently, well, a few years back, I became a technical writer. I was promoted to have my job at OPEX. I became a technical writer. I was released from my job in 2009. Didn't know what to do. I actually went back to school for a math degree, of all things. What in the world was I thinking? If you're thinking that, I would think that you'd be correct in that thing. What in the world was I doing? But there had to be some purpose. Because a week or two before that first semester, I had this, what I thought was an amazing idea. I thought I was going to write a story an op-ed piece and get it published in the school's paper, the Gleaner. Sure enough, I wrote the story. I felt so good about it. You ever have that feeling when you do something? It could be writing, it could be playing basketball, it could be playing the Wii, that you did something and you just nailed it. You were on. You were firing on all cylinders. That's how I felt when I wrote this piece. Sure enough, a couple weeks later, in the first edition of the Gleaner, this article was published. From then on, they asked me to write other articles. They asked me to cover the Rutgers football team. And I was enjoying it. A year later, I began taking journalism courses, and I realized this is my love, this is my passion. I love journalism. Interestingly, it's not the best time for journalists. However, I was asked to become a staff writer and cover the news. That next year, I was so lucky. I was able to cover a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, a lady by the name of Jennifer Egan. She came and she did a reading. The Rutgers-Rowan merger, potential merger, I was covering that. I saw Senator Steve Sweeney get booed by a whole bunch of people. I give him credit. I love writing. In addition to my love of hiking and writing, I love playing the Wii. And for too long, I got away from playing video games. When I hit my 20s, I think I felt like I had to be a certain way. How does an adult act? Do they play video games? Many do. I do. So I didn't entertain playing video games. But a friend had the Wii, and she got me back into playing video games. And I love it. I love playing Cars. It's a Cars game. Cars 2. It's actually meant for kids, I think. But adults can play. Believe me. Adults can play this game. You get to crash into cars. You get to do all the things you can't do in real life. Then there's tennis. It's a very active video game system. You can play tennis. You can hit baseballs. You can pretend you're Ryan Howard. You can bowl, although I don't like bowling that much. This is my second icebreaker, the first one I gave in the fall of 2009. I'm a much different person. I wanted to introduce you to more of me, more about me. And that's that I enjoy hiking, I really love writing, and I love playing the Wii.